Raiders of the Lost Shark. Yes, you did hear me right. And this one doesn't star Harrison Ford. So Raiders of the Lost Shark is a extremely knowingly schlocky B-movie, but done on a micro budget. And as the title expects, it doesn't really take itself too seriously. Now, we've seen plenty of these kind of jokey shark films, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more. Basically, this one, now I'll say with the kind of air quotes, the plot basically has this kind of lake being terrorised by some kind of shark, and various kind of people are, chomped up along the way. And then it falls to a sort of an expert and a couple of other people to try and investigate it. And it turns out that this is a lot more sci-fi than we first thought. And you won't have to wait to see sky sharks to see yourself a flying shark, shall we say. So that is the very, very loose plot of Raiders of the Lost Shark. And now this is an extremely short film. It only runs about under 70 minutes, I think it is, if you take the titles out. So it's a very, very short film, and the reason is there's really not a lot to this, as you probably expect. And as I said, this is a knowingly bad film. This is made to be a bit of a kind of a joke, to be honest with you. When I say it's a low budget film, this is an extremely low budget film. I mean, everything here is just done on the most minimal of budgets. Obviously, on a technical side, obviously the equipment they're using, the sound doesn't sound particularly good because obviously, they're not using the kind of standardized mics, things like that. Editing, acting is obviously particularly crappy, but I think it knows it. The effects are, well, really, you can just imagine someone with just a kind of a cardboard cutout shark and flying overhead. Really, it's close to being that kind of level of cheesy. So don't go into this movie at all expecting, even along the lines of things like Sharknado, even though that is a kind of joke in itself, this is really one step sort of after that, to be quite honest, in the fact that this is just the kind of movie that you'd watch when you are, you've had a few drinks and you've just kind of watching it to take the piss, basically. And it doesn't know, it is really winking at the audience and its kind of ridiculousness. But just don't watch it if you like shark movies and you're a fan of things like Jaws and stuff like that, and you kind of like a gripping tale of terror, because you're not going to find it here. And that's really what I've got to judge this film on. So if it has its market, and if you really want to watch kind of just a bit of fun, hastily slapped together, jokey material based within a budget of about $100, then this is going to be your film. But if you want anything resembling a kind of story, a narrative, kind of effects, acting, you're going to want to look. Let me put up this. This makes Sharknado look like a high budget production. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 10, because if it genuinely speaking, it doesn't really have any redeeming features apart from the fact that it's just a novelty, a very, very low budget sort of joke movie. But if that's kind of what you want from it, then that's exactly what you'll get. So that is my review of Raiders of the Lost Shark.